Hello guys, it is me, Minty shit, whatever you want to call it. And today, Lord child mercy, I am sick and tired of these aunties. Auntie seems to be nothing but free nowadays because these aunties are out here and they're vicious. I have just seen on my Twitter, when I was browsing my Twitter, you know, as you do, and you're looking up some funny memes and some tee-hees and some ha-has, you know, I came across this tweet. Now, this is something that is going on more on Instagram than Twitter, but nonetheless, I actually know what it's like to be harassed by children on the internet over what you draw, on Instagram in particular, and on Facebook in particular. And this happens on Instagram. Now, this is part of the faction of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure community, and for people who are not familiar with the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure community, it is one of the most toxic and weird fandoms you could ever be a part of. It's not weirder than like furry fandom or weirder than like Sonic fandom, but it's pretty fucking weird. So I was in the JoJo fandom, and 2014, that was when I was really just balls deep into it. I had always kind of dabbled in the JoJo fandom. I had kind of dabbled in like the sort of yaoi aspects as well as the official manga and anime. I didn't really like the newer anime at the time, but I was very into the manga and the older OVAs of the anime. I've been a huge fan at the time, and I had been joining like Facebook groups. That was kind of before like Twitter was really bopping and Instagram was really big. I was joining some of the Facebook groups, and one of the first groups I joined was the fan art group. It was the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fan art and references group. It was dedicated to just that. Like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure as a organization, when it comes to social media presence, they were very organized outside of any fandom I've ever known. They had a group for regular manga discussion. They had a group for cosplay. They had a group for fan art and just regular references and memes. They had a group for shit posting. It was a whole thing. They kind of started the whole shit posting side of an anime fandom before it was a thing on Facebook, and it was really kind of a fun experience, but at the same time, they've gone such weird shifts and bounds and hills and leaps and things like that. I couldn't even tell you how weird it's been. In 2014, you were basically shamed for being a JoJo fan who happened to be into yaoi. I remember the Clamp Dojin that was made of Jotaro and Kakyoin was literally seen as the Antichrist. Like, everybody hated it. It was so weird, and this weird fixation on being so fucking homophobic. And it wasn't just the normal I'm not really into yaoi sort of aspect, or why do you make everything gay. It was to the point where in the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure group that I was in, it got so bad that me and another girl who were really into the sort of yaoi and BL aspects, we decided to make our own group. And when we made our own group, we ended up getting infiltrated to a degree. It was when we tried to like run a coup in our group and then like destroy it. Like, it was really bad. It was just really bad in like shonen fandoms in general. When it came to BL and yaoi, it was a very homophobic time. So after that, I just left. I was tired of it. I was like, you know what, fuck this fandom, bye. So I was gone for a few years, and then I come back in like 2018, around the time when the Part 5 anime series got its, you know, it's got its legs off the ground, and it became, the Part 5 manga became an anime. That's when I kind of got back into it, and I started drawing different stuff from it yet again. This time, a little bit more talent was applied to it, and it was a little bit memeier, so I got a little bit more clout. Now it's a whole different shift as to what is normal and what is cool. So now they're regulating ships, they're regulating who can be drawn, who can be looted. It's a really weird thing. So like, I draw Narancia from Part 5. It's a whole meme comedy thing that Narancia looks like a woman to some people, and that he is one of the quote-unquote muscly underrated traps. He's like 17 years old in the manga during Part 5, so at the time, in that sort of distance, he is 17. It was like 1 year before 18. Why that matters to me, I don't fucking know. These are the same people who are fine with Hinata being looted in Naruto, or Android 18 being looted. Like, it's weird. It's weird to me. I don't know where these moral grandstandings come from, but then again, when you see some of the ages of these people who are doing call-out posts, they're literal fucking children. So it's very weird to me. But there's literally just whole communities that just, they see certain ships that they don't like and they just go after artists. Now on Twitter, you can't really get away with that shit because there's too many people on Twitter, on that platform, where they're not gonna stand it. If you try to harass an artist, you're just building them up more. We have seen this with small people who try to go after artists and big people who try to go after artists. There are people who have like 57 followers trying to do call out posts on people and trying to label them as pedos, horrible people, molesters and things like that, and they get nowhere, and they usually lock up, hide, and run away or come back later. But then there are people who are like Creepshow Art or Shannon who go on these tirades and try to claim that certain art that's being drawn, it's this and that, and this person is a molester, this person is a pedo, this person is literal CP. Then they get their asses basically checked and they end up either retracting claims or ignoring it and trying to play the victim. So on Twitter and on YouTube in certain aspects, it's a lot harder to get away with false allegations like that. Now on Instagram it's a little bit different for a lot of reasons, because Instagram is kind of like Facebook because they were bought out by Facebook in the aspect of not suitable for work content isn't really favored, nor are you really supposed to post it. Like you could get in trouble. An artist known as Onips, which is one of my favorite artists, she actually posted Nekuzo, adult Nekuzo, in like a sort of ball gag sort of piece that was a little bit bloody, and she was literally, they flagged her post, which I believe somebody reported her. They flagged her post, and then as she kept posting it, they eventually took down her account. Now Instagram is a weird place. They don't play. Mass flagging, it can be a horrible and detrimental thing to an artist. Like they don't do those sort of mercies where if you know somebody up in the food chain of Twitter, you can get your account back. Instagram is, it's gone, it's gone. Like celebrities have been just nuked off the platform because of things like this. And it's very concerning to me that there's a group of like so-called JoJo community watchdogs who are out here plotting to mass flag and basically just mass harass these JoJo artists. So I'm gonna read to you what these posts and these screenshots have been found, because this is ridiculous. It's one thing to not like something, it's one thing to state your opinion about why you don't like something, but it's another thing to go off and harass people and just treat them like they are nothing, like they're trash, and compare them to people who have committed actual crimes. So this is what the post reads. Hey everyone, I'm going to be making a group chat to document/report pedophilic artists in the JoJo community. This is not a meme or GC. This isn't for fun. Please handle these issues with caution if you do join. This is to protect minors like myself and others in the community. Click yes to join. No doxing or bullying is allowed. And you know when they say this, they're trying to cover their own ass, because they are most definitely putting out information on them and they're trying to get them so they can get harassed. Everyone in the GCC general chat would comment DM artists in a professional manner, asking them to remove problematic content and then report. Please understand that this isn't cancel culture, because we're not dealing with petty drama. We're dealing with the perversion of minors and minor characters. Okay, so already you know I have things to say. Okay, so this whole post is a contradiction. They're saying this isn't cancel culture because this isn't petty drama. Cancel culture is within itself an issue, whether it be petty drama or whether it be something somebody did in the past. Cancel culture is defined as believing that they should be completely wiped off a platform, that they have no rights, they've been stripped of everything simply because of an action that they took, a mistake that they made. This is beyond cancel culture. Like, this is something that would not fall under any sort of mistake. This would just be straight up harassment, bullying, and in ways doxing. Imagine this, and I've had this happen to me. You get up, you're looking on Instagram, you're flipping through your phone, you're like, hey guys, you know, I'm just looking to see what the notifications are as usual, and then you start getting comments, weird comments or weird messages from these random people who never interact with their posts. You don't know these people from a hill of fucking beans, and they start telling you about this piece of art that you posted, that, oh, this is pedophilic, you're hurting these anime characters that I love. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then you start asking questions. You're like, hey, so why are you commenting on my stuff? Like, what's going on? And then you find out where this is going, and these people have already reported your stuff. most likely. Usually they'll send you a message and report, or they'll report first. Most of them are too stupid to report your stuff first. So they're gonna like come at you, comment, call you all sorts of names and slander your name, throw you libel, whatever, just throw you into the mud, and then they either report you and then you're there, or they'll report and block you, which is what they usually do because they don't want to have to take the repercussions of what they've done. So they'll do this, and then they think, oh, justice is served. And it really annoys me when people do this. Number one, most people on Instagram who post their not suitable for work stuff, they have it heavily censored. And even if they don't have it heavily censored, they actually don't post all that like lambastic stuff. So you know, once they go on this person's Instagram, they're gonna find their Twitter, they're gonna find their Patreon, they're gonna take it a step further. Now, I hate when people do this when their sole intention is to harass and terrorize somebody, but they try to throw in this disclaimer like, no doxing or bullying, guys. Like they think they're covering their own ass, when it's very clear that you are intentionally trying to harass people who are doing nothing but minding their own business and doing what they do. They're just drawing pictures. Luckily, there are people in this fandom who are kind of playing along with what's going on, and they're infiltrating these groups, and they're kind of like giving artists heads up. They're kind of like helping people out, and I commend those people who are kind of behind the scenes being a spy and helping people out, because this sort of stuff, this sort of targeted harassment that we're seeing, which I 100%, I'm very angry that in this Twitter post, and I linked it in the description as well, in this Twitter post, the people who are going after them, their names are not shown, or their screen names, so to speak. Their screen names are not being shown, because these people need to be reported. They need to be able to be reported on Instagram so that they can be eliminated. That's really what bothers me when people make call-out posts about things like this, and they cover their names and they cover their faces. Why? Why are you covering the faces and names of people who are willing to go after people for drawings? First of all, you don't even want to get into the fact that people going after people for drawings, meanwhile there are actual people out here trying to groom children. So these people, they'll go out, and I know they're going to go after shippers, people who are going to loot Narancha, and I have some looty bits of Narancha that I think I have on my Instagram. I know I'm probably going to be one of these people who's probably going to get talking to or something. Something's going to happen. I feel it. And if it doesn't, I'd be very surprised. But they're always going after people, trying to talk them down, and then when they get that comeback, that come up, and they start getting confronted, then they want to run, they want to block you, they want to call you this and that. And this is very, dare I say, problematic behavior, which is ironic because they claim to be fighting problematic behavior. A lot of these artists are Japanese. They don't really understand English that well, and they're looking at this person like, who are you? Who are you? They're not really fluent in English, but they try. And people come at them with these loud, aggressive ways, and they're the sweetest people ever, and I will be 100% up to the bat to defend them. And then they try to ask me, because I am learning Japanese right now, and I kind of half English, half Japanese will explain to them like, yeah, they're mad. They're Westerners. There's a whole a Puritan thing going on right now in the art sphere. They're very angry. Just block them and move on, or if you feel like you need to shut down for a few days, that's fine. Seeing some of the people that I really love and care about, who are you to tell somebody they can't draw a picture? Like, it's one thing if these pictures were being drawn and they were based on real people. Like, I don't condone what things people like Shadbase have done, who have drawn actual children doing like things that you wouldn't want a child to do. I don't condone that. But just drawing an anime character, like, come on. So does that mean people can't draw Jotaro at part 3 because Jotaro is what he is? Now, my thing is by this logic in the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure community, they're trying to defend minor characters and kids. But when you think about it, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is part 9? Any of the underage characters who are most popular in the ship, who's most popular about Josuke, Giorno, Narancha, Fugo, Shigeki, like all of the people from these parts, time has moved forward. So even if you are at Stone Ocean, like Even if you're at Stone Ocean in the manga and anime of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, what do you mean? These characters are no longer minors. Canonically, they are all adults, if you want to go by that logic. Not that it should even care. Like, I don't even care. But to these people who have this logic, because I always look at two sides to the coin, because I can see two sides to the coin, even from that angle, what you're doing is useless, because in this particular franchise of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, these characters are all adults. Jotaro is like 30 in part 4, so he's out. Kakyoin's dead, but if he was alive, he'd be an adult. Narancia is 17. He's dead, but if he was alive, he would be like, what, 20 something in his 30s? Like, all the way, even when you're going to like Stone Ocean, like Jotaro's in his 30s, like 40s, 30s, late 30s, early 40s. Everybody is an adult at this point. Like, that is the canon. Like, who cares? Why do you care? Like, I even had people, and this was funny because when I was in the JoJo's fandom, which I have distanced myself from yet again because they're fucking crazy, because this shit right here. When I used to post Narancia, I had people, actual admins, tried to come at me and say that I was a pedo, that I was a pedophile, because I drew Narancia being lewd, because he was a character that everybody joked about being lewd. People even tried to claim that me drawing Doppio, Diavolo, Doppio, that alter ego segment, just Doppio's portion of the sort of two personalities, that I was being a pedo because Doppio looked young. So by that logic, I guess anybody who draws Jotaro, that one girl who's super obsessed with Jotaro, she's a Japanese, I believe, singer or actress, she's super obsessed with Jotaro, and this was part 3 Jotaro. She actually wore the whole getup and everything, and she said she wanted Jotaro to lick her face. Is she a pedo? Come on now. And these kids who are out here trying to harass and trying to get at people over characters that are already canonically adults, nobody's going to take you seriously if you are seriously trying to report drawings to the police. They're gonna look at you and they're gonna laugh at you because they have real cases and real crimes to solve. Like, come on now, y'all, girl bye. I could ramble and ramble about this for hours, but that in particular did not sit well with me, because you can handle the opinions, you can handle the, oh, if you do this, you're this sort of thing, a little call out posts, just being passive aggressive and shady. But this right here, this whole let's gather together and just start harassing artists because we can't stand to see them any longer. Block them anyway. You should have been blocking them in the first place. Why do you have to go the extra step and harass somebody, ruin their day because you don't like something that they've drawn? Come on now. Why are y'all not going after people like Riley Reid? Riley Reid is an American porn star who is right now doing her thing. She has money, she has a job, she's a fully functional YouTube channel apparently. She has fans still, and she has confessed. She has laughed, she has joked, she has made it into kind of a, oh, this is sexy sort of thing about molesting and robbing a boy of his virginity, basically assaulting him in a theater because she wanted it now. Why is nobody going after that? Why is nobody talking about that? Why was nobody going in on Momo-kun when the evidence was right there? The video had been out for years before people exposed her. The cosplayers, before the cosplayers started coming out the woodwork to get their little 15 minutes, and I'm not shaming victims, I'm talking about how they wanted to get their little 15 minutes of fame and say, yes, this person bad, but we ignored all of these signs when we were working with her, you know, sort of thing. Like, we ignored that video that everybody was referencing for years and years and years, and I know this because I was one of the main people referencing these videos. Like, go after real people who do horrible things, not people who draw things. Like, if this person happens to draw things and they happen to be as well as a creep, well, yeah, go ahead. But to say, and there is no scientific proof that will back up that making drawings, that seeing a drawing is going to make somebody commit a crime. It just ain't. If that's the case, then half the Adult Swim shows are gone. South Park, Steven Universe, which ironically everybody praises. Steven Universe has some really fucked up plot lines. They would all be gone. Steven Universe, the Venture Brothers, Metalocalypse, like all these weird ones from Fox, like High School USA was like, all it did was delve in like sexy stuff that teens did. Ranma 1/2, which is ironically made by one of the world's best manga artists, Rumiko Takahashi, who a few, like 2 years back, everybody tried to claim was this staunch feminist who didn't believe in hypersexualizing teen girls because she said Kagome's skirt shouldn't be flying up and showing her panties, even though in the manga, you know, she has nip slips, frontal nudity, and everything. But guys, Rumiko Takahashi is a real feminist. She ain't with that hypersexualization. I'm sorry, I know this video is getting long, but it's kind of like a ramble, waffle rant, just about all of this stuff that's been going on, and it's really been getting on my nerves. Chill out. Leave people alone. Leave them alone. Stop, for the love of God, stop. Leave them be. Let them draw. If you don't like what they got to draw, you can make your little opinion to say, hey guys, I don't like this person with their drawing. Like, that's kind of creepy to me or something, like if you're talking to a friend. But do not go take the time to go and DM this person to tell them how shit you think their art is. Block them. Move on. And then you're gonna keep trying to abuse the report system, and one day, karma gonna come back on your ass. And I will be right there when it does, laughing at you the entire way. Because guess what? Y'all trying to take it on Instagram, there's some parameters there that people don't really fuck with on Instagram, but just make sure when you want to come, don't come to Twitter, because we gonna get you on Twitter. We see you trying to harass an artist for no reason, we gonna get you. We gonna get you, honey. So with that being said, guys, thank you for listening to this video, listening to me ramble. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. That's where I do a lot of my talking points. If you want to follow my shitty art, because, you know, everybody and their mom says I'm shitty, you know, with my art, you know, follow my horrible proportions, honey, and my shitty coloring, guys. If you want to follow that, I also have that linked in the description as well. If you like videos like this where I'm just talking to you and you're having a good time, let me know. I do want to do more kind of organized videos. I do have this Fujoshi one that's coming up, but there's a lot of complications that are going on with this video that I'm trying to make as far as the Fujoshi breakdown and stuff. It's looking like it's going to be a long video, so I got to break it up. I got to edit out like 2 people's testimonies, because one person is just batshit insane. I'm not naming names or anything, but they were just batshit insane, I found out, which ironically was somebody who would be on quote-unquote my side. They were just insane. They were crazy, and their spouse is crazy as well. I feel like if I post their response, it would kind of put them out there and people know who they are, so I'm gonna like summarize with another comment to do that. I want to be able to give people who took the time to message me and respond to me about the Fujoshi section and the Fujoshi video that I was going to do. I want to give them that privacy and that anonymous presence, that I don't want to expose them in any other way, and I want to be as responsible as possible with that. I can deal with the My Hero fans, like in the stands or whatever. I can deal with the K-poppers. I can deal with the aunties and the weird your Fujoshis are fetishizers. I can deal with those, but I cannot deal with crazy children who are trying to harass artists. That's where I draw the line, okay? So that being said, guys, thanks for listening, and feel free to chime in what your thoughts are. Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm right? Like the video? If you didn't like the video, don't like the video, I don't care. Just here to talk. Peace, love, and stay grooving, humans. Bye!
That's an odd flex, but okay. I get ugly bitches on my PP every day. My homies call me nigger, and the rest of y'all are slaves. What else can I say? Pulled up to your concert as a fan and now I'm gay. You know I keep it no hetero.